So, the most recent Bond film on Hulu that I don't have a video review of, Die Another Day from 2002. The final Pierce Brosnan Bond film. And I am winded from a run rant, guys, so bear with me here. Honestly, I think you know that this is one of the worst entries in the franchise. So, we start off with some surfing in North Korea, where I believe this is actually impossible. They don't have surfable waves. We have James Bond is one of these guys surfing. They break into this area, and he's posing as some like arms dealer. He's working a deal with this Colonel Moon, a young colonel with a temper. How do we know he has a temper? Because he beats up his therapist. So, this is the bad guy of the movie, actually. And it's kind of interesting how this is done in a way with the opening segment. Because we're having it out with this guy, Korean. He has his muscle Zhao, the sort of villain from the first Fast and Furious movie. And Bond is blowing some stuff up. They're onto him. There's a chase with hovercraft that's really not so bad. And Bond is captured. Shit, damn it. I think that was a leaf hit me upside the head. Bond is captured. And cue Madonna's Die Another Day score. You know, it's not as bad as people will say. I don't care for the electronic voice in it. The tune is kind of catchy. I'm not going to sing along with it, and I'm limping bad because I didn't expect my right leg to be hurting like this. So, this goes down, and can I even finish this review? I've got several more reviews to do after shooting this. Over a year goes by, I believe, like 18 months or something. 8 months, 18 months, whatever. Bond is being tortured. I do like the way how the torture is incorporated into the title sequence. So, the title sequence isn't a complete waste. It's actually showing you what's happening in the movie. He gets released, crosses over to the demilitarized zone. There's a prisoner exchange with Zhao, the henchman, who now has diamonds in his face because Bond had blown something up on him. And we hear from M that 00 status has been rescinded, that there's some information given up, and they believe it could have been Bond until they know otherwise. He fakes a heart attack, escapes the medical boat he's on, realizes he's in Hong Kong, goes to a hotel, gets information about the whereabouts of Zhao. As the Chinese want to capture him also or get him out of the way. And so heads to Cuba, where he meets Jinx, Halle Berry, in a terrible performance that seemed to have undone the goodwill she had on slutting out for an Oscar. And this is really the point where people realize she's not a good actress, to be honest with you. So, hits on her a little bit, everything's stiff and awkward. They're both actually interested in Zhao, what he's up to. There's some kind of treatment he's undergoing at this Cuban facility. And Jinx is like, it's not CIA, it's, I don't know, some U.S. defense branch, okay? NSA, I think it is. She kills the doctor that's performing this stuff. Zhao gets away, but he's messed up even more. Now he's looking straight up albino. His hair is gone. There's some kind of therapy going on to him, like rejuvenation. It's really an identity makeover. And they learn that there are some diamonds involved in this. They come from Iceland, this Graves Corporation. They don't know too much about this Graves guy. He's a bit flamboyant. English guy, Graves, comes skydiving and meets up with Miranda Frost, his secretary. She's actually working for MI6. She's one of the lower agents, a rookie of sorts. And this Graves guy, James Bond's questioning him on some stuff, and they get into a fierce duel. It's like, okay, could you be tipping your hat any more that you're the bad guy? Because, like, if you're going to try to kill James Bond in a sword fight, I think that gives it away, does it not? So this happens. Oh, Madonna shows up briefly. Miranda Frost breaks up. She's supposed to be, like, the best sword fighter for whatever the hell reason. And so there's a bit of a clue about her. She got, like, silver, but the gold medalist had cheated. And, like, I think overdosed on some drugs or whatever, so she gets gold by retroactively or something like that, because it's revealed that someone was cheating. And anyhow, we hear that Miranda Frost is under the guidance of M, Judi Dench here. So she's supposed to keep an eye on Bond. They head over to Iceland where there's an ice hotel. Pretty cool concept. I know this is something that is done on occasion in reality, where they'll have some kind of event and they build this hotel out of ice. Seems treacherous to me, but as a classical Bond style over-the-top set piece, I think I'm perfectly fine with it. I just wish some of the things in this movie were done in a better movie. Bond is trying to get some information, so is Jinx, and they find out that the diamond situation's fake, but they have this satellite called Icarus that can launch like a concentrated sunbeam down on stuff, take things out. Jinx ends up in peril a little too much. Like, they even like double dip on the same thing. So, like, she gets caught and they shut the door in her hotel room and she can't get out. The next thing we know, she's strapped to this chair with lasers, and they say, oh, the lasers are real, the diamonds are fake, enjoy. They have a fight there, and it looks corny as all hell, and a lot of this movie does. The CGI effects are unneeded and too plentiful. Hell, even at the beginning, Bond's getting out of this harbor, and they have a chroma keyed background for no reason. And then you end up with worse effects as the movie goes. It just keeps getting worse in the effects pool. So in many ways, I feel like you could say it's the worst effects of the Bond movie because it goes so big and fails. So continuing on, we find out that Bond hooks up with Frost, and then she's revealed to be a double agent, that Gustav Graves is actually Moon. He'd had like his race changed through this procedure, and he was actually studied in Oxford or wherever with Miranda Frost, and they were on the same fencing team, so they're old pals. And that tips the hat, whatever. Miranda Frost is bad, and Bond has to take her out. Well, he doesn't quite yet. Halle Berry, Jinx is captured again. The place is going to melt on her. Bond is in a high-speed chase with Zhao. Bond has an invisible Aston Martin. I know there's a lot of eye rolls here because a lot of people feel like it got too sci-fi with this. You know, there's a lot of sci-fi in the gadgetry that Bond had in the 60s and 70s. If it wasn't aiming for sci-fi, it would have been contemporary by now, and you'd be like, oh wow, he has a smartphone with a touchscreen. Whoopity-doo. I mean, hell, he had a 7 Series BMW, and Tomorrow Never Dies, that now does just about everything a brand new 7 Series does. It can drive itself without you, and it park itself that way. It reads speed limit signs and shit. It does that stuff. I think in some ways the invisible car could have worked better. It is a pretty cool Aston Martin Vanquish. It's fully kitted up, as new Q Joan Cleese says. He was mentioned to be R in the previous movie, but here he's Q. And anyways, the bad guy, he's got a fully loaded Jaguar with all the trims, and you know, it can go toe-to-toe Bond's thing. They're having a duel. I do like how Bond's car flips over and he uses the ejector seat, I think it was, to flip it back up, even though it should have shot his chair out. Whatever, it looked cool. You know, maybe there's some reasoning behind it. It was a cool little stunt. But then you have Bond go and he gets away from here. What does he do? He does some shit where he's in like this land speed record type car that's going across on ice. Shit's getting melted over him because of Icarus. He has to like parasail and quasi snowboard, and it looks horrendous. Then maybe he gets into the car. I don't remember all the stuff in sequence because it's not a great movie, guys, and I watched it a week ago. So he has this duel back into the hotel with the cars, tricks Zhao, uses his camouflage, reverses Zhao, thinks he's going to crash into him, goes into the pool of the icing water that's melting, and then Bond shoots out this chandelier, falls on him, kills him. I think if you watch it in slow motion, you see that it misses him, whatever the hell. Bond frees Jinx. He does have a gadget that works out. Actually, I don't think you could complain too much about it. He has a ring that can break glass. You like set this thing, boom, boom. Sonic vibration breaks the glass. Cool enough concept. Simple enough. I don't think anybody complains about that. But he jumps into like this hot spring sauna type situation with Jinx, revives her. They have to go after Graves, Moon. I guess I'll just call him Graves. He's in a plane. He's in over North Korea. Bond and Jinx have to fly something like miniature Red Bull type wingsuit contraption to cross the border so that they don't get seen on radar. Oh yeah, I'm sure that they know how to pilot this shit. They get over there, they find out they can't snipe him, take him out. They have to board the plane. Frost and Jinx get into a sword fight. Jinx, I think, ends up killing her somehow. The general, this guy's dad, actually, he seems to disown him. Hey, you're not the son I remember, and you know, this isn't good stuff you're up to. I don't approve. He kills his dad, has Icarus take out the minefield at the DMZ, and Bond fights him for a bit. There's a stupid contraption he has to wear to control the Icarus. The bad guy's performance here is over the top. I hadn't seen him since. The chick who plays Miranda Frost, forgot her name, she's in stuff. I think she might have been nominated for an Oscar for Gone Girl. Never saw it, looks stupid to me. She's okay. I don't think she emotes very well for eyes. She has a distinct type of eyelid that doesn't really close. It's like, I mean, you have to take a look at her. It looks like her eyes are bulging in a way, but it's hard for her to really show emotions in the face. Anyhow, Bond and Jinx get away. There was some kind of cut that Jinx received, or a burn or something that doesn't show up at the end. They're like surrounded by diamonds and they're in the sack. And that's pretty much your movie. This movie made pretty decent money, but critically was a failure, and in such a way really brought about the ousting of Brosnan, who gives it his all. He's not bad here. Brosnan is certainly not the one to be faulted, but it's Die Another Day. I'm sure you don't like it. Tough to say if this is the worst Bond movie. I still have some others I need to go through. But, you know, I kind of have to give this a 1.5 out of 4 stars. Sorry.